Okay, team, good afternoon. I am still in Washington, D.C., our great capital, doing some things for the nation. And so I appreciate you making time for me to talk to you this week. I'll tell you, last week, I just want to apologize to you personally. Last week was probably one of the hardest weeks I've ever had personally and professionally. Like many of us, or many of you that are listening, with everything going on around the nation, everything we're doing against COVID, and everything we're doing to do our jobs every day. It was just an incredible week for me personally. Now that's all an excuse, and quite frankly, not a very good one, because we're all in this together, and there's trials and tribulations that each of us face. And as my father used to say, it is about getting up, pulling on your boots, and just moving forward. So I accept my responsibility in that light. I would say to you, though, I finally acquiesced as we were rushing to make a video to talk to you to the recommendation that one individual had for me. And she said to me, "Hey, sir, maybe we just take a moment and pause because our Chief of Staff of the Army had sent out a message, and maybe we just allow people the opportunity to focus on that message." I thought it was a great recommendation. I hope each of you had an opportunity to hear our Chief talk, and if not, I encourage you to Google it. Our Chief, General McConville, calmly really just talked to us about his expectations inside the Army, and I thought it was wonderful, incredibly insightful to how we should all represent not only ourselves as soldiers, Department of the Army civilians, or contractors supporting the Army, but take a look inside and reflect accordingly. So I encourage you to see that. In that light, though, I will say, as the commander of Army Materiel Command, and it's 190,000 soldiers, civilians, and contractors strong, supported by our great family base, we are going to take a hard stand. We're going to make sure, and we're going to hold ourselves accountable to ensuring that people are treated right, and it should not matter race, gender, or religion. It is truly, as our mothers taught us, and mothers have taught children for thousands of years, treat people like you want to be treated. And I ask that all of us take personal responsibility to this end. The thing I often think about is how selfish people can be when they are thinking about themselves personally, and not about the bigger responsibility that we have to ourselves, our families, our communities, our nation, the world. And if you just take a moment, just take a moment and think about how positive it would be to treat everybody the right way. It really could be a special place for us all to live. So I challenge us all. As the commander, I will work to make sure we are holding ourselves accountable accordingly. So thanks to everybody for what you're doing to do that, It's so important. All the things that happened last week and are happening around us on a daily basis could help us take our eye off the ball. And the ball I'm talking about is a fight against COVID, Don't lose sight of this. We are at war with this virus, and we must every day be vigilant. Vigilant personally, vigilant as a family member, vigilant as a teammate at work. We must remain vigilant to ensure we defeat this enemy. There's a lot of rhetoric, continued rhetoric about the virus. And we see people who are ignoring the scientific facts. I'd encourage all of you, stay vigilant, Wear your mask, stay socially distanced right? Or at least physically distanced, right? I would encourage us to socially bond with each other, virtually, albeit. But, physical distance is important. Make sure that we are enabling ourselves in our families and enabling ourselves in our communities, enabling ourselves at the workplace. And I mean by that, right, we have to continue to be great family members, continue to be great community members, continue to be great workplace members, but we have to be disciplined in our actions accordingly. So think as we go through our future stages, and I think we can transition to the next step in the fight against COVID as we move forward. I would ask you, and I would remind all of us to say thank you to all the great people who are supporting us at this time in our fight against the virus, right? It's clear that our medical professionals and the medical teams that support them are really on the front lines. And trust me when I tell you, the fight has not ended for them. They're there every day. They're working extraordinary hours. They're executing Herculean tasks to care for people. They're exhausted, but yet they still remain professional. They're still 100% dedicated to us, and they could use a good thank you. So don't forget about them. Continue to say thank you on email or Facebook, wave, honk horns, send baked goods, etc. Whatever way you think you could do it. I just ask us to remember that. In that light, though, there's others that have to be thanked, right? I've said it before, and I'm going to continue to say it. There's many people who are supporting our way of life, all right, despite the virus, right? Those in the supermarkets, those attending gas stations, those who are doing our electricity and our water or picking up our garbage. These people are contributing to our way of life. They have the courage to, face the virus, but yet provide service. It's really remarkable, and I ask that you reach out to them. And then, of course, is, the thank you to the firemen and the policemen, the men and women in these two cohorts that are really just risking their lives every day for our way of life, right? They're risking their life physically. They're risking their lives, against the virus, and they do it for one purpose, and that is for us, right? And I just want to say thanks to them. I have a personal attachment to a policeman. My brother is a police chief in New Jersey, and I guarantee you he is leading by example, and his force is protecting and serving the community with high standards and great discipline, and I'm incredibly proud of him. So I encourage us to reach out and say thank you to all. Okay, so at the end of this, on the personal side, Susan and I moved out of quarters last week, and we moved into what we thought was going to be our retirement home, but that's been delayed a little bit, as everybody knows. That's okay. We're doing well. I got to tell you, it was traumatic flying home and getting to the house at about 2100 hours. And I walked in the door, and it was wall-to-wall boxes. I got to tell you, my heart dropped. But clearly, I don't know why my heart was dropping. Susan did all the work. She moved. She had the household goods packed by the team, moved, and then she had it all unloaded and placed in her home. And quite frankly, if I did one box unpacking, she did 20 boxes. She's incredible. So that was a little bit of a task for us both. Clearly more for her than me, but the transition was going well when I left there on Monday morning. We'll see how it is when I get back later this week. So, team, I just want to say thanks to you for what you're doing. Stay strong, stay resilient, stay healthy, right? We will continue to fight the enemy I am 100% confident that we will be victorious because of what you do every day to stay healthy, keep your family healthy, fight against the virus, and then support our warfighters. We are just blessed for all that you do. So thank you.